Well, ladies and gentlemen, may we inform you that we are also being joined virtually by some of our other dignitaries and special invitees who could not make it physically to this occasion, but it's my duty to name them because with the process, in due course, they'll also be joining us with their messages and being virtually present as far as this occasion is concerned. We have President IOGS, Professor John Ludden, who's also with us. We also have a co-chair of Appropriate Authority to 36 IGC, Professor Chandrima Saha, President INSA, and we have co-chair of Appropriate Authority 36 IGC, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, who's also going to join us virtually. And we have Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Shri Devi Singh Chauhan Sahab, who's also going to be with us. In fact, he's already with us virtually. And we're also going to have a message received from Shri Rao Sahib Patil Danve, Honorable Minister of State for Mines, Coals and Railways. And we'll also have the special presence of Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Earth Sciences. And we are also going to have our Honorable Union Minister of Mines, Shri Prahlad Joshi, as a part of special invitee as far as this occasion is concerned. Of course, there's going to be a lot of attractions. We'll exactly start at 2 p.m. as per the schedule. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we were always knocking at the doors of the event way back in March 2020 when the 36 IGC was to be held in the actual format that it was conceived. But that could not happen because of the sudden advent of pandemic that shook the entire world. And intermittently, it has been intruding into our lives, and we have never been able to come out of that. It was a great solace, and it was a great silver lining that we identified in the form of this virtual event that we are presently holding. And of course, that's a great solace before we move on to the next event, which is going to be held in South Korea in the city of Busan. Of course, it's a long-standing tradition that IGC has been following for years together, and it is rightly called the Olympic of, as far as geology is concerned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will require your patience for another few minutes. We are almost there. Just 3 to 4 minutes from now, we are going to start because we are connected virtually, online, to so many people across the globe. Therefore, we need to adhere to the timings that we have kept, and obviously, we'd like to stick to them. So just a few minutes before we can start the entire proceedings, and of course, it's going to be a very fascinating one. We require your cooperation and participation to make it a grand success. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, on behalf of the organizing committee of this event, extend a very warm welcome once again to all our participants and guests present here, and those who are glued to the moment virtually from India and across the globe. We welcome you to the inaugural ceremony of the 36th International Geological Congress being organized today here in this wonderful auditorium of FICCI in the national capital of New Delhi. Well, this program, which is labeled with the theme, Geosciences, the Basic Science for a Sustainable Future. First and foremost, we'd like to extend a hearty welcome to our special invitees and dignitaries on the dais and those who are connected to us virtually. As far as the event is concerned, we are really delighted to be organizing the 36th IGC in its abridged format from what it was originally conceived to be. Slated to be held during March 2020, the event met with rough weather, and that was largely unprecedented. And the pandemic that shook the entire world took everyone by surprise, and it lingered unabatedly without a sunset clause. In fact, dealing with normalcy for the last couple of years has been the biggest predicament of mankind. And today, this little window of opportunity to organize this event on virtual platform gives us all a reason to smile, be happy, and also admire the silver lining that has come suddenly in sight. The resurrected yet attenuated Congress in virtual mode may appear as an insignificant event in time. However, it stands tall as a mark of triumph of human spirit over disease and decadence. The next 3 days, in fact, next couple of days from here, will give the scientific community to see and lend their ears to an agglomeration of geoscientists who are extremely experienced in their different walks of duty, and they will be sharing their experience about the fascinating pages of history of Mother Earth, and through the deliberations, they'll be reaching out to millions of people. Of course, it's a golden opportunity for us to listen to them and to be aware of all the developments that the science of geology has seen in the recent years, ever since the last event was held in South Africa. Well, the idea of this event is to focus on the subject of sustainability and how geoscience can play a pivotal role in addressing the same. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely thankful to you for having gathered here in numbers, and especially those who are connected to us virtually. And without you, this event or this particular occasion would not have been half as successful that it is. If time were money, you've spent millions on us today by being a part of this occasion, and we heartily welcome you once again to the inaugural ceremony of the 36th IGC. Can we make it louder with a huge round of applause coming from everyone, please? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for that support received from your end. And moving forward, we would now like to make way for our first speaker, who is presently steering the aspirations of the premier geological organization, the Geological Survey of India, as its Director General, which is also the nodal organization for the event. Ever since he was honored to preside this prestigious event, there has been some relentless support and guidance coming up from him despite his soaking engagement in discharge of his duties at the helm of affairs of the organization he is heading. Firm geological background that he has acquired through his decades of service to the premier geological organization, his presence and participation in today's event is viewed with tremendous respect and reverence. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome Sri R.S. Garkal, President 36 IGC, for his welcome address, please.
Thank you, Akhori. Honorable Union Minister of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs, Sri Prahlad Joshi, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Minister of State in PMO, Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Atomic Energy and Space, Dr. Jiten Singh, Honorable Minister of State for Coal, Mines and Railways, Sri Rao Saheb Patil Danve, Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Sri Devu Singh Chauhan, President IUGS, Professor John Luden, Dr. Alok Tandon, Secretary, Ministry of Mines, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Professor Chandrima Saha, President INSA, and dignitaries on the dais, plenary speakers, eminent scientists, representatives from 37th IGC LOC, and all other dignitaries present here and joined virtually, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all who have joined from all corners of the globe to witness the participate in the 3-day virtual 36 IGC 2020. The 27th second IGC was held in New Delhi in 1964. It is a proud and cherishable moment for the Indian geoscientific community that once again the prestigious global scientific event is being held on the Indian soil. The 36th session of the Congress was being hosted by India after winning the bid in the year 2012 in the 34th IGC session at Brisbane. Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka acted as co-host. The Congress, scheduled to be held between 2 to 8 March 2020, attracted 6,832 abstracts from 122 countries, leading to 287 symposia, 13 plenary lectures and public talk by luminaries, 38 professional workshops and several business meetings. 33rd field trips were developed to showcase the magnificent geology of the Indian subcontinent. However, dreaded COVID-19 pandemic forced us to postpone the event as some delegates had already arrived. 36 IGC successfully conducted 6 pre-Congress trips. Global continuation of the COVID-19 pandemic forced the event to be rescheduled twice to November 2020 and then to August 2021. Finally, with the support of IUGS, the Congress is now being organized in a hybrid mode, considering the overlapping time zone of the member countries. The live program has been scheduled from 2 to 4 p.m. IST with complimentary registration for all. The theme is Geoscience, the basic science for a sustainable future. A panel discussion and 8 plenary lectures by eminent geoscientists has been planned following the inaugural ceremony. Scientific publications like 2 volumes of Indian report to IUGS and tectonic map of India will be released today along with the 36th IGC abstract volume, 3 coffee table books and 2 commemorative stamps. The prestigious IGC Cup received by us at the 35th IGC in South Africa in 2016 will also be virtually transferred to the President of 37th IGC to be held in 2024 at Busan, Korea. I sincerely wish the organizers of 37th IGC best of luck for successful conduct of the event. As the President of 36 IGC and Director General Geological Survey of India, I thank all the distinguished delegates and the organizers for their unbeatable spirit. I extend my heartiest gratitude to IUGS, Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Earth Science, INSA for providing continuous support. I once again extend a warm welcome to the entire geoscientific community to attend the virtual 36 IGC. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that welcome address. You helped us take a peep into the past and also gave us a taste of things to come in the next 3 days as far as this Congress is concerned. We deeply acknowledge your participation and contribution to the event. Well, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to welcome our next speaker, a professor from Heriot-Watt University, who is now the president IOGS. Professor John Ludden is UK's second geoscientist to lead the International Union of Geological Sciences, which comes to him as a magnanimous accomplishment. Pledging for the need to address climate crisis and providing resources for the planet, Professor Ludden represents a legacy of deep-bred talent and expertise in the field of geoscience. Having joined the university he represents as a bicentennial research professor, he held a number of influential roles in geosciences, including leading the BGS as its chief executive officer, and prior to this as head of the earth sciences as director of the CNRS France. Today he brings along the goodwill of IOGS under the aegis of which the International Geological Congress is held. Please put your hands together and welcome Professor John Ludden, President IOGS, who joins us virtually.
Thank you very much. Dear honoured guests, dear colleagues, it's a pleasure to finally be in a position to open the 36th IGC. The International Union of Geological Sciences was founded in 1961. It represents over 1 million geoscientists. It's one of the world's largest geoscience organizations. It encourages international cooperation and participation in the earth sciences in relation to human welfare, and it's a member of the International Science Council. IUGS promotes and encourages the study of geological problems worldwide and supports and facilitates international and interdisciplinary cooperation in the earth sciences. IUGS gives special consideration to international standards, to global geoscience education, to geoscience information and data, and to geology serving the United Nations Sustainability Goals. The International Geological Congress, the first one being in 1878, was incorporated into the IUGS 60 years ago when IUGS was created. We've delayed celebration of our anniversary until this year, and the IGC 37 in Delhi is now part of the 60th IUGS celebration. I thank the IGC Organizing Committee for the enormous efforts that they put into managing the IGC through the COVID epidemic and recovering from the postponement of the meeting that was due to be held 2 years ago, and also their substantial efforts with IUGS in reimbursing the registration fees to participants. It's really unfortunate that many participants have been unable to visit the beautiful sites of India and its spectacular geology. India and its associated countries are part of the planet where the geological sciences are fundamental to ensuring its resources in minerals, energy, and water, and where sustainability of the earth is of overriding importance. The IUGS is pleased to include many Indian geoscientists in its commissions and programs, and our collaboration will continue and be strengthened in the coming years. We support the geological sciences across the world with national memberships in more than 60 countries and participants in more than 120 countries. Currently, we're concerned for our Ukrainian colleagues and have made a statement on this issue. I again would like to thank our Indian colleagues for bringing this meeting together and for passing the International Geological Sciences Cup to Busan in the Republic of Korea. I dearly look forward to visiting India and my Indian geological colleagues in the near future. Thank you very much once again for bringing this meeting together, which I'm sure will be a great success. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for addressing this wonderful occasion on that is the inaugural ceremony of the 36th IGC. And ladies and gentlemen, may we inform you that with its membership representing 115 countries and regions, 8 commissions, 4 working groups, and 38 affiliated organizations, IGS is one of the largest and the most celebrated geoscientific associations of the world. Today, having the momentous presence of its president, Amit Sats, virtually, with all his support, makes this moment priceless. Thank you very much, sir, not only for your kind presence, but also the value addition that you bring along with you. Well, as our next speaker, I have the pleasure of introducing Professor Chandrima Saha, a name standing out in the scientific fraternity. A biologist by profession, she is currently the president of the Indian National Science Academy and distinguished chair professor of National Academy of Sciences at the Indian Institute of Chemical Biology, Kolkata. She has held prestigious positions in the past as former director and former professor of eminence at National Institute of Immunology. She also earlier served as vice president international INSA. She is an elected fellow of the World Academy of Sciences, Indian Academy of Sciences, and West Bengal Academy of Sciences and Technology. The list of awards, recognitions, and honors have followed one after the other as a testimony to her work of scientific sleuthing. And these decorate her achievements across 3 decades, reiterating her continuous contribution to the field of science. The Biopharma Lifetime Achievement Award for 2021, the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Medal for 2019, Om Prakash Bhasin Award for 2015, and Pushpa Srimachari Foundation Day Oration Award 2014 are just a few in her kitty of achievements which reflect her magnanimity in the field of science. Ladies and gentlemen, cannot wait any longer to invite Professor Chandrima Saha, Co-Chair Appropriate Authority, 36 IGC and President, Indian National Science Academy, who joins us virtually with her address. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Honorable President of 36th IGC, President of IUGS, Honorable dignitaries, and distinguished guests. It is my great pleasure to address a gathering of professionals and elite geoscientists of the world on this virtual platform. The Indian National Science Academy, or INSA for short, is mandated by the Government of India to act as an adhering organization for all International Council of Science-related activities, including the IUGS and the IGC. In 2012, at the 34th IGC held at Brisbane, India made and won a bid to host the 36th IGC in 2020 in the National Capital Region of Delhi. This was a great opportunity. As a constituent of 3-member appropriate authority, several INSA fellows worked hard to shoulder with representatives of the entire Indian Geological fraternity for organizing the 36th IGC. Senior INSA fellows took a lead in heading the science and field programming committees. The significant scientific inputs by the INSA and its fellows in organization of this mega event in March 2020 was appreciated by the entire scientific community. The sudden onset of COVID pandemic few days before the scheduled event robbed us of the laurels and appreciation that we would have earned for an excellent scientific event. As a compromise with the all-pervading corona infection, which still makes a look at the future uncertain, we have resorted to a truncated 36th IGC on the virtual platform. I'm sure that this is going to be a grand feast, and I wish a grand success to the 3-day virtual interactions of global audiences with some of the best known names in the field of geoscience. All my best wishes for this Congress. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, madam, for that virtual presence of yours, and also for encouraging this moment, which could have been incomplete without you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may we inform you that the Indian National Science Academy, established in January 1935, promotes science in India and harnesses scientific knowledge for the cause of humanity and national welfare. The indefatigable support received from INSA as one of the major partners of 36 IGC is exemplary, and we do extend our gratitude to you, madam, for being the support and for leading from the front. Well, moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce our next speaker, Dr. M. Ravichandran, who assumed charge as Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences since October 2021. Riding on a firm academic background, he is a doctorate in physics from University of Pune. You have served as director at NCPOR Goa during 2016-21, and earlier as a scientist in Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune during 1988 to 1997. You have had defining stints at National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai, on the turn of the century, and at Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, Hyderabad, during the first decade and a half before joining at NCPOR. You've held influential positions of repute as Vice President of Scientific Community of Antarctic Research, and as Council Member to International Arctic Science Committee, Council of Managers of National Antarctic Program, Antarctic Treaty System, besides much more. With your present responsibility as Secretary MOES, you bring along experience, poise, capability, and authority to lend wings to aspirations of Ministry of Earth Sciences, and it is an honor for all of us to be welcoming you as Chair Appropriate Authority of 36 IGC. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Dr. M. Ravichandran, who joins us virtually.
Honorable Union Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Coal and Mines, Government of India, Sri Prahlad Joshi. Honorable Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Independent Judge, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. Honorable Minister of State for Mines, Coal and Railways, Sri Rao Sahib Patil Danve. Honorable Union Minister of State in this Ministry of Communications, Sri Devsingh Chauhan. Secretary, Ministry of Mines, Sri Alok Tandon. President of Indian National Science Academy, Dr. Chandrima Saha. President of IUGS, Professor John Luton. President of 36th IGC, Dr. Rajendra Singh Gargal, DG CSI, distinguished speakers, panelists, geoscientists from all over the world. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am glad to note that 36th International Geological Congress, which was originally scheduled in 2020 and got postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic situation, is now being held virtually. We had hoped to have an in-person meeting in India, but the COVID-related restriction forced us to go virtual. I wish the conference a great success and look forward to the other opportunities for hosting you in India in near future. Ministry of Earth Sciences is a unique organization established by Government of India to holistically look and study all 5 spheres of the Earth system, such as atmosphere, hydrosphere, geosphere, cryosphere, and biosphere. The mandate of the Ministry of Earth Sciences is to provide services for weather, climate, ocean, and coastal states, hydrology, seismology, and natural hazard, and also to explore marine living and non-living resources in a sustainable way, and to explore all 3 polar regions, Arctic, Antarctic, and Himalaya, including to reveal the past history of Mother Earth. MOES was in the forefront of the bidding process of the IGC ever since 2004, when India could not succeed in winning the bid. In 2012, MOES and Ministry of Mines, under the umbrella of IUGS National Committee, led by the Indian National Science Academy, made the successful bid at the 34th IGC at Brisbane. It will be worth recalling the then Secretary Ministry of Earth Sciences was chosen to be the President of 36th IGC initially. In 2012, Government of India mandated MOES and Ministry of Mines as 50-50 partners for holding this mega event. Geological Survey of India under the Ministry of Mines was chosen to act as the nodal agency. The execution of the program was undertaken under the IGC Society. With the support of the scientists from Indian National Science Academy, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and with the help of Geological Survey of India, the 36th IGC was planned meticulously and was ready to open the Grand Geoscientific Congress in March 2020, as mentioned by previous speakers. However, the COVID pandemic pushed us to a corner and forced us to compromise with the short duration of virtual session. With the persistence of a few dedicated individuals in the 36th IGC team, we have today reached that destination and formally witnessing the opening of this event, for which every Indian geologist was waiting since 1 decade. I understand in the next 3 days, various top-level geoscientists will discuss and deliberate various geoscience topics which are relevant today. On behalf of Ministry of Earth Sciences, I wish the 36th IGC a grand success. Thank you all for joining the event. Jai Hind.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for joining this occasion in your capacity as Chair Appropriate Authority for 36 IGC and also providing an insight into the event. Ladies and gentlemen, we inform you that the MOES, as one of the major partners of event, has since beginning extended phenomenal support to the event almost like a guardian, and your kind presence today on this occasion gives an opportunity to all of us to acknowledge all of that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, moving ahead now, we now have the pleasure of lending our ears to someone at the helm of affairs in Ministry of Mines. He is diligently handling very critical, crucial, and sensitive responsibilities and translating the vision of governance into reality through mature and professional administration. An Indian administrative officer from the batch of 1986, he has an impeccable track record of envisioning, strategizing, and implementing plans for operational and financial turnarounds, and his experience in long-term project management, resource management, and negotiations with regulatory bodies sees him in his present portfolio as Secretary Minister of Mines as a very experienced bureaucrat. The road less traveled that the organizing committee of the 36 IGC had to maneuver after the abrupt postponement of the event reverted back to normalcy, not without the insight and vision of our senior-most officer of the Ministry of Mines. We request Shri Alok Tandon, Secretary Minister of Mines and Chair Appropriate Authority, for his kind address.
Honorable Minister of Mines, Coal and Parliamentary Affairs, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Dr. Jiten Singh ji, Honorable Minister of State in the Ministry of Mines, Shri Rao Sahib Patil Danve, Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Shri Devi Singh Chauhan, President IUGS, Professor John Ludden, Secretary Ministry of Earth Sciences and Co-Chair 36 IGC, Dr. M. Ravichandran, President INSA and Co-Chair 36 IGC, Professor Chandrama Saha, Director General GSI, Shri R.S. Garkhal, all renowned geoscientists from all over the world, other dignitaries joining the inaugural session, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to join you at the inaugural session today of the virtual 36th International Geoscience Congress, or IGC. It is my privilege to be associated with this edition of the IGC, which is an apex forum of the geoscientific community. The geosciences have left its indelible mark on the course of human civilization in the Stone Age, Copper Age, Bronze Age, and the Iron Age, and it continues to do so in the present. The findings of geoscientific research have aided scientific progress in no small measure. From a policymaker's perspective, one can say that the knowledge and insights that geoscientists offer ought to blend into policy actions for the overall benefit of the stakeholders. In India, the policies in this area have been underlined by several mining reforms, especially since 2015. These have been aimed at boosting mineral production and availability, improving the industry's competitiveness through ease of doing business, and improving social responsiveness. Friends, the mineral and mining sector faces an acid test today for sustaining its growth potential across economies. The resource endowment in mineral-rich regions throws up a challenge and an opportunity for geoscientists. It's a challenge because of the imperative to graduate to low-carbon mining operations, and it's an opportunity because of the immense economic benefit to the nations and the people that it can render. The growth model we follow is not only based on mineral resources availability, but also on their cautious exploitation. And yet, we are ready at a stage where superficial mineral deposits are fast depleting. The geoscientific community needs to step in to help meet future requirements by unearthing more deep-seated sources for minerals we require. Focus is also needed for exploration of strategic and critical minerals that are essential for making energy-efficient products like EV batteries. When we talk of mineral resources, we often tend to sidestep the frontiers, but as we all know, the offshore has great scope in several marine resources, particularly phosphorites, gas hydrates, and seafloor massive sulfides. Ladies and gentlemen, the mineral sector is one of the key contributors to the economic development. The pursuit of growth and a higher standard of living has placed a huge demand on the natural resources. However, its utilization and sometimes exploitation by mankind over centuries has made our ecology somewhat fragile. In a scenario such as this, and in the context of future growth expectations, geoscientists have a unique contribution to make. Though their knowledge about the structure and evolution of Earth spanning the geological ages, geoscientists are in a position to offer answers for sustaining the growth process while ensuring that the coming generations are able to meet their own needs. 11 out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the UN cover different areas of geological sciences. Geoscientists can thus play an important role in meeting the SDG targets and addressing some of the societal and environmental challenges we currently face. Through a high-level forum like the IGC, geoscientists can come together for dissemination of knowledge among the peer group and policymakers to ensure a better tomorrow. I wish the 36th IGC the very best. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that kind address. Ladies and gentlemen, Ministry of Mines, Government of India, as a major partner for the event, has been guiding authority in taking all major critical decisions, without which things may not have moved in the desired direction. You individually, sir, as the chair of appropriate authority, have been the vanguard of all decision making and providing the guidance in helping us achieve what we all appreciate as a team today. Thank you very much for your kind address. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we now are honored with the presence of a dignified guest and special invitee, Honorable Minister of State for Communication, Shri Deva Singh Chauhan. Young and energetic that he is. The formative years saw him attaining his technical degree in electrical engineering, and having served the organization in the government for almost a decade and a half, he revisited his passion to serve his subjects, shifting his attention towards mainstream politics. There was no turning back ever since, and the achievements that followed one after the other is not only awe-inspiring, but is an epitome of commitment, hard work, and determination to arrive at the pinnacle of glory. Having a very compassionate feel for his subjects, his approach to serving people touched the hearts of many. In 2007, he was elected as the member of the Legislative Assembly, repeating the feat in 2012, and in 2014 was elected as Member of Parliament as an outcome of the 16th Lok Sabha elections. Having served several standing committees with phenomenal contribution, he always creates space to indulge in his hobbies, like traveling incognito, finding time for music, and making books as his credulous companion. He was deservingly chosen to serve as the Honorable Minister of State for Communication in July 2021, and under his watchful eyes, the Ministry of Communication promises to reshape the social, economic, political, and cultural landscape of the country with cutting-edge communication tools, and thus creating an ecosystem which fosters strong and equitable development as requisites of good governance. Ladies and gentlemen, we are simply delighted to have his kind presence, though virtually, and I request him to kindly address the occasion on the inaugural ceremony that we are all a part of today. You're welcome, sir.
उपस्थित माननीय श्री प्रहलाद जोशी जी, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ माइंस, डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ अर्थ साइंस, श्री राव साहब पाटिल दानवे जी, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ माइंस, कोल एंड रेलवेज, डॉक्टर आलोक टंडन जी, सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्टर ऑफ माइंस, डॉक्टर एम रविचंद्रन जी, सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्टर ऑफ अर्थ साइंस, प्रोफेसर चंद्रिमा शाह जी, प्रेसिडेंट INSA, प्रोफेसर जॉन रुदेन, प्रेसिडेंट IUGS, प्रोफेसर स्टैनले सी फिनी, सेक्रेटरी जनरल IUGS, श्री राजेंद्र सिंह करगल, डायरेक्टर जनरल जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया, श्री जनार्दन प्रसाद, ADG, जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया। भारत में हाल ही में रंगों का त्योहार होली मनाया गया है। मैं इस सम्मेलन में उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य व्यक्तियों और प्रतिभागियों को होली की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ। हर साल हम होली का त्योहार मनाते हैं, जहां इस दिन हम होलिका दहन में सभी बुराइयों, बुरी भावनाओं, दुश्मनी को जला देते हैं और अगले दिन हम दोस्ती, प्रेम और सहानुभूति जैसे जीवन के अनेक रंगों से भरे आनंद का एक नया दिन मनाते हैं। माता भूमि है, पुत्रो अहम पृथ्वी है। ये धरती हमारी माता है और हम सब इसकी संतान हैं। भारत सरकार के डाक और टेलीग्राफ विभाग को पर्यावरण संरक्षण के साथ एकजुटता दिखाने के लिए 14 दिसंबर 1964 में भारत में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय भूवैज्ञानिक कांग्रेस का आयोजन किया गया, उसी उपलक्ष्य में हमने एक विशेष डाक टिकट जारी किया। उस टिकट पर पृथ्वी का चित्र है, जो भूवैज्ञानिकों का कार्यक्षेत्र है। जियोलॉजिकल हैमर जो आपका विशेष साधन है, हम वह हथौड़ा हैमर पृथ्वी की कक्षा के रूप में दर्शाया गया है। आज आधुनिक दुनिया को ऊर्जा, दूरसंचार, बुनियादी ढांचे, परिवहन के साधनों और विकास के हर पहलू की मांग को पूरा करने के लिए धातुओं और खनिजों की अधिक मात्रा और विविधता की आवश्यकता है। यह बुनियादी धारणा है कि खनन का क्षेत्र सस्टेनेबल नहीं है, लेकिन हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हमारी सरकार के द्वारा पिछले दशक में खनन के साथ साथ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के बारे में भी जो सोच थी, उसमें पूरी तरह बदलाव आया। इन प्रयासों में खदानों और खनन कंपनियों के द्वारा जवाबदेही में सुधार करने के लिए कई दिशा निर्देश योजनाएं और नए प्रोटोकॉल की शुरुआत की गई। इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य खनन के लिए एक स्थायी और जिम्मेदार दृष्टिकोण को लाना है। हम खनन के क्षेत्र को कैसे और अधिक जिम्मेदार और नैतिक रूप दे सकते हैं, इसके बारे में प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं। भारत आने वाले 25 वर्षों को अमृत काल के रूप में मना रहा है। हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत को विश्व का प्रमुख अर्थतंत्र बनाने की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट हमारी प्रमुख अवधारणा है। हम तेजी से विकास करना है, अपने देश और दुनिया की जरूरतों को पूरा करना है, लेकिन साथ ही माँ पृथ्वी की रक्षा करते हुए अपने संसाधनों का ऐसा बेहतर इस्तेमाल करना है कि हमारे आने वाली जनरेशन उससे वंचित न रहे। यही सोच है हमारे प्रधानमंत्री। भारत का ये दृढ़ विश्वास है कि खनन के साथ साथ पर्यावरण का संरक्षण भी किया जा सकता, और जब कंपनियां खनन की गतिविधियों के साथ साथ उसके दुष्प्रभाव को कम करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध होती हैं, तो ये समस्या कम की जा सकती है। हमारे कानूनी ढांचे के अंतर्गत सभी कंपनियां विश्व विरासत स्थलों और संरक्षित क्षेत्रों में खनन गतिविधियों को कम करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध। भारत खनिजों का उत्पादन करने वाला और निर्यात करने वाला एक महत्वपूर्ण देश है। भारत 95 खनिजों का उत्पादन करता है। खनन क्षेत्र देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में एक महत्वपूर्ण योगदान करता है। माइनिंग से होने वाली समस्याओं में ड्रिलिंग, धूल प्रदूषण, ध्वनि प्रदूषण और पर्यावरण वाले वेस्ट मटेरियल का गलत ढंग से प्रबंधन करना पर्यावरण के लिए और जल को प्रदूषित करने का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है। इन मुद्दों का समाधान करने के लिए हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत में वर्ष 2016 में पर्यावरण के लिए और खनन के लिए विशेष कानूनी ढांचा को अपनाया गया है। भारत ने खनन क्षेत्र में सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को सुनिश्चित करने के लिए नीतियां, नियमों, कानून की एक सारणी निर्धारित की है, जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय नियमों के अनुरूप है। पर्यावरण, वन और जलवायु परिवर्तन मंत्रालय इस संबंध में नियमन करता है। हमारी सरकार ने एक ऐसा तंत्र तैयार किया है जिससे छोटे खनन ऑपरेटर भी अपना सकते हैं। खनन उद्यमियों के विनियमन और बेहतर व्यापारिक तौर तरीका को बढ़ावा देने के लिए हमारी सरकार ने वर्ष 2019 में पृथ्वी और पर्यावरण के लिए एक नई नीति को भी अपनाया है, जो वैश्विक रूप से पर्यावरण संरक्षण के प्रति हमारी सरकार की प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है। हमने हमेशा मानव जाति, पेड़ों, पर्यावरण, वन्य जीवन के सह अस्तित्व में विश्वास किया। हमारा मंत्र जियो और जीने दो में सभी रूपों में पृथ्वी पर जीवन की भलाई के लिए प्रार्थना करते हैं। आज इस अवसर पर 2 स्मारक डाक टिकटों को जारी किया जाए और मैं इनके माध्यम से सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के प्रति भारत की प्रतिबद्धता को व्यक्त करता हूँ। जय हिंद। नमस्कार।
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your kind presence on the virtual platform and for also sparing time to be a part of this occasion. We also look forward to having you in our future programs as well. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward from here, we are simply honored to also have amidst us as our special dignitary the Honorable Minister of State in Mines, Coal, Railways for the Government of India, Shri Rao Sahab Patil Danve. Besides being a valued member of several standing committees, you served as Union Minister of State, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution 2014-15, and then again in the 17th Lok Sabha for the period in 2019-21. You assumed the office as Honorable Union Minister in Coal, Mines and Railways in July 2021. Your stint in the current portfolio is equally awe-inspiring, being a thoughtful, hard-working and visionary leader. You're extremely popular for your yeoman service to the community and deep-rooted interest in social welfare programs. Ladies and gentlemen, may we welcome Shri Rao Sahab Patil Danve, Honorable Minister of State for Mines, Coals and Railways, who addresses the occasion with his message virtually.
नमस्कार। आज की 36 भूगर्भीय कांग्रेस के उद्घाटन समारोह में आपके बीच यहाँ उपस्थित रहकर अत्यंत खुशी हो रही है। मित्रों, आज शुरू हो रही इस कार्यक्रम का विषय जियो साइंस सस्टेनेबल भविष्य के लिए बेसिक साइंस, यह हमारा आज का विषय है। आज दुनिया भर के सभी देश सस्टेनेबिलिटी और पर्यावरण को लेकर चिंता व्यक्त कर रहे हैं। पूरी दुनिया के एक्सपर्ट्स इस विषय पर रिसर्च और परिणाम स्वरूप सॉल्यूशन लेकर सामने आ रहे हैं। दोस्तों, आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हमारी सरकार विकास के साथ सस्टेनेबल भविष्य और पर्यावरण में संतुलन बनाए रखने के लिए अनेक कदम उठा रही है। इसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मुझे विश्वास है कि भारत में हो रहे 36वीं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय भूगर्भीय कांग्रेस में सस्टेनेबल भविष्य और जियो साइंस की अहम भूमिका के बारे में परिणामक चर्चाएं होगी। देश विदेश से सहभागी हुए वैज्ञानिकों और इस क्षेत्र से जुड़े लोगों के लिए यह कार्यक्रम अत्यंत उपयोगी होगा। मुझे विश्वास है कि युवा शक्ति की प्रतिभा को इससे प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा। इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजन के लिए सभी मंत्रालय तथा भूगर्भीय कांग्रेस के सभी अधिकारियों का अभिनंदन करता हूं और इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय भूगर्भीय कांग्रेस की सफलता की कामना करता हूं।
Well, thank you very much, sir. We are extremely grateful to you for having joined this occasion from a distance despite your preoccupation, and this indeed gives us a lot of encouragement to further excel in our endeavors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the pleasure of requesting for the kind message of our special invitee, who besides being a medical practitioner of repute by profession has been, as a part of his political career, identified for numerous and diverse responsibilities, arguably making him an individual with prolific experience and capabilities. After his very successful campaign in duties during the 16th Lok Sabha campaign, he was re-elected to the 17th Lok Sabha with a thumping victory, after which, besides revisiting his earlier served portfolios, was also entrusted as Minister of State for Earth Sciences, Science and Technology, Minister of State in PMO, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pension, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space since July 2021. An avid reader, he has between the covers authored several books, over 10,000 published literatures in articles in newspapers and journals. Besides this, a plethora of awards and recognitions which have regularly aligned as a testimony to his unfailing potential to rise to the occasion. His bestseller, As Diabetes Made Easy, and syndicated weekly column Trails of Travesty have been enthralling generations of leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome for his message, Shri Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State for Mines in Independent Charge.
Respected Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Coal and Mines, Secretary, Ministry of Mines, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, President, Indian National Science Academy, President and Secretary General, International Union of Geological Sciences, and distinguished geoscientists and other members of the scientific fraternity. Namaskar to everybody. At the outset, I must express that it gives me an immense pleasure to be amongst you all on this occasion of the inauguration of the 36th International Geological Congress. It is indeed a matter of great happiness that the event, popularly described as the Olympics of Geosciences, is being participated and discussed by the best brains in the sphere of geoscience realm. I also understand that the 36th IGC, which was originally scheduled in 2020 and got postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic, is now being held virtually. We hope to have an in-person meeting in India, but the COVID-related restrictions forced us to go virtual. I wish the conference a great success and look forward to other opportunities of hosting you in India in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, I am also happy to learn that the 3-day event will feature a panel discussion on a very important topic and also talks by eminent geoscientists from across the world. I am sure the outcome would be of great significance and relevance, and the proceedings would be closely watched by scientists, technologists, miners, students, and policymakers with a keen interest. As we all know, the relation between man and earth science is intricate and very delicately balanced. Geosciences play a crucial role in ensuring the maintenance of this balance and making the future sustainable. I therefore appreciate the efforts made by India and all the other nations in this mission. We are waiting with great enthusiasm for the experts to come out with the conclusions of the Congress. Before I conclude, I take this opportunity to thank one and all for your support in making this event happen. I especially thank the International Union of Geological Sciences for their constant support and cooperation in all our endeavors. Wish you a great success once again, and namaskar.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your gracious presence, and ideally we would have liked having you in person, but we would not like to miss out on the opportunity the next time there is a chance to have you with us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we now request for the message of Honorable Union Minister, sir, for Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs to address the gathering. Though, before doing that, it shall be an honor to introduce him briefly and present a passing glimpse of his charismatic and workaholic statesman who has achieved so much in a small time span. He has always had a humanitarian outlook towards cause of poor, downtrodden, apart for his concern towards social, regional and national issues. As recognition to his hard work and dedication, he was elected as a Member of Parliament with a thumping majority in 2004, followed it up with 2009, 2014 and again in 2019 from the Dharwar constituency of Karnataka. His guidance and leadership to steer the aspirations of Ministry of Mines is already yielding rich dividends and taking the nation to heights of unprecedented glory. Unfortunately, time doesn't permit us to dwell deep into each of his contributions, and missing inadvertently on any one of them is something we would not like to happen. I would only say that we are blessed to have his perpetual concern towards his subjects. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Honorable Union Minister of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs to the Government of India, Shri Prahlad Joshi. Well, to see him perform live could be somebody's gain, but not to have his presence felt will be a definite loss. And despite his preoccupation, he makes an effort to join us with his message.
Namaskar. Senior ministers attending the inaugural session of the 36th International Geological Congress, secretaries and other senior officials, eminent geoscientists, professors, delegates and attendees who have joined us from around the world today virtually. I extend my warm greetings to all. The IGC is rightly called as the Olympic of Geosciences. The IGC presents a platform for the nationals, for the nations and the stakeholders across the world to come together and they power the geoscientific community on the global level. It is a matter of pride for me to be the part of this international congress, which has a long history of over 140 years. I am informed that since the first geological congress held in Paris in 1878, there have been around 35 such events so far. This is a proof of increasing the relevance of the global geoscientific community. I would like to take this opportunity to thank scientists, researchers in geological science in India and across the world. They are truly the world citizens, and their understanding of geological systems of the earth help us every day as we move forward. Talking about my country, the geological survey in India began somewhere at the beginning of 19th century. However, the journey has started much before that. As you all must be aware that about 150 million years ago, India, South Africa and Australia were the part of the Gondwana supercontinent. Gradually, India drifted apart, and about 40-50 million years ago, Himalayas were formed. Today, India produces over 95 minerals. We have abundant reserves of mineral resource. We must realize our true geological potential, increase our exploration and make best use of abundant resources. With our efforts since 2015, as soon as Sri Modi ji took over, and further reforms in the past 2 years, we have been able to increase the pace of mineral exploration. Because of our joint efforts and reformative steps under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, mining sector is flourishing, employing around 12 million people in India. With continuous support of our geoscientific community, Indian government is committed to tapping the mineral reserves of the nation in sustainable manner. The country's obvious geological potential area has increased to 6.88 lakh square millimeter, and area under the exploration has increased from 10% to 30%. This achievement is worth applauding. Boost in exploration has been possible due to our government support to the geology discipline and expertise our geoscientists in GSI. Geological exploration has helped India unlock the millions of opportunity. We have allowed the private exploration agencies to get accredited and carry out the mineral exploration. With this reform, I am hopeful and confident that India's geological potential and mineral exploration are going to touch a great heights with the more participation and advanced technologies. Geology has a very strong impact on the entire value chain of the exploration and mining. This is why, with the best mind in geosciences, Geological Congress can develop a vision for the future. We invite the investors, explorers and scientists to come up and explore the huge opportunity that the Indian mining sector offers. With this, I express my gratitude for the platform that allows the nations to come together and exchange the innovative ideas about the geology discipline. I am informed that 58 years ago, India had hosted the 22nd edition of the IGC, and the 36th IG which we are hosting is happening when the country is celebrating 75th year of India's independence. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This year is a year of full of celebrations, opportunities, aspirations and the actions. As our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has given a call for the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to commemorate 75th year of India's independence, I am confident that participants of this Congress will benefit from the informative panel discussions delivered by some of the leading geoscientists of the world. I give this you all. I wish all the best. Best wishes to all. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your words of encouragement, in-depth knowledge of the state of affairs and contribution to this occasion, which only proves that you're a strong team player with a connoisseur of excellence. Well, sir, we are thankful to you for your kind address and also for extending your blessings for the success of this event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we take a small breather here and make way for some releases. And we mark this auspicious occasion with the release of 2 commemorative postage stamps of 36th IGC to be released by Shri Dev Singh Chauhan, Honorable Minister of State for Communication. And for the very same, may I request the Chief Postmaster General, Delhi Circle, to present the first album for release by Honorable Minister Sir, and also request Honorable Minister Sir to kindly do the honors. Well, thank you very much, sir. Now, I also request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly join the moment in release of the postage stamps, which will be on display on your screens. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen on the dais. You are requested to kindly take your seats. And ladies and gentlemen, the occasion also befits the release of few scientific publications prepared for the purpose of 36 IGC in its original format, but could not be done because of the constraints posed by the pandemic. And we request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly do the honors of release as I talk about them briefly in the sequence that I'm giving. First is the abstract volume of the 36 IGC, which is a rich compilation of more than 7,000 abstracts. Filtering this huge number, 6,832 abstracts were selected for oral and poster presentations, compiled as an ebook. The same goes for release today. May I request the dignitaries to kindly release the same. Can we freeze this important and historic moment with number of photographs that can be taken on the occasion? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We move forward, and there is a coffee table book of 36 IGC related to geotourism hotspots of India, which is again a very enriching compilation of 78 geotourism sites in parts of the subcontinent. This is also an offering for the release, and I once again request our dignitaries to kindly release the same. I once again request the photographers to take as many photographs. These are wonderful moments that need to be treasured in times to come. Well, moving forward, there is a special issue of the Proceedings of Indian National Academy of Sciences, an Indian report to IIGS 2016-20, and may I request the same to be kindly brought before the dignitaries on the dais for them to kindly release them. Gentlemen of the dais, may we request you to kindly keep standing for some time. It will be a little trouble for you, but still we would like to hurry up with this affair as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. With just 2 more publications on the way, and there is a geological and tectonic map of Indian subcontinent as Indian report to IGS. Again, this is from INSA, and we would like this to be released as well. We request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly do the honors, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are wonderful readable propositions, and once you lay your hands on these books, obviously you will have wonderful takeaways as far as the contents of this book are concerned. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, on release on this auspicious occasion, we have two CTBs or coffee table books from Geological Survey of India, namely Sundarban Geology and Geotourism, prepared by Marine and Coastal Survey Division, Eastern Region Geological Survey of India, and the Thar Desert, prepared by the Western Region Geological Survey of India. Having earned its name as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the book emphasizes on coastal erosion, accretion levels, anthropological impacts, and ensuing environmental degradation with view on mitigation. The other book on desert environment pictorially exhibits the sand dunes, the saline lakes, the calcrete-bearing ephemeral fluvial systems, and other aspects. So these are wonderful two coffee table books. One is on Thar Desert and other one on the Sundarbans. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, on the dais for having done the honors. And these were the releases that were lined up for today's ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, moving forward from here, it is now time for handing over the IGC Presidential Cup. And with the dust having almost settled and the organizing side able to pull off this consolation of holding the 36th IGC in its abridged format, we need to move forward to uphold the long tradition of holding this prestigious event in the years to come. The takeaways may not be commensurate to the years of planning, preparation, and most importantly, the excitement that came with winning of the bid. But the scientific community needs to take solace from the fact that the challenges posed by the pandemic was unnerving and unsettling for the world and humanity. Republic of Korea takes the baton from here to organize the ensuing event in Busan in 2024, and they deserve all the congratulations and good wishes for the same. Can we have a big round of applause for the next IGC in Busan 2024? Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to celebrate this moment by handing over the IGC Presidential Cup to President 37th IGC, who joins us virtually. And for the very same, may I request Professor Dheeraj Mohan Banerjee, former professor and head, Center of Advanced Study in Geology, University of Delhi, and fellow of the INSA and emeritus scientist, to do the honors and kindly share a few words on the handing over. You're welcome, sir.
Dear colleagues, I introduce myself. I am Dheeraj Mohan Banerjee, Chair, Indian National Committee for IUGS and INQUA. I stand here to perform a most pleasant task of handing over the IGC trophy to our colleagues in Korea. And I do so with a sense of nostalgia of hosting this prestige for the past 6 years, which was supposed to happen after 4 years. At this very time, I have a mixed feeling of euphoria when we won the bid in 2012, several stages of despair and fatigue during the preparation of sadness of last-minute cancellation due to COVID, and of consolation of at least hosting a truncated web event. Our bid was aimed to use the excellent platform that an IGC provides, to use it effectively for human resource development, to inform those who make policies, and to educate the public at large. A bit was achieved, but a lot was not due to COVID, but I'm sure that our worthy successors will take the geoscience torch to higher heights so as to rebuild the trust between science and society through effective geoscience services. On behalf of the Indian geoscience community, I solemnly pledge all our support to IUGS and to our colleagues in Korea so that they can deliver geological sciences at the highest level, both in conceptual as well as in application space. I wish IUGS and Koreans all the very best for continued success. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful address, and we do appreciate your love for the science of geology and what kind of Herculean efforts you have taken in order to make this revised format 36 IGC a grand success. We owe a lot to you for your contribution that has absolutely been fabulous as far as realizing this moment is concerned. Well, thank you, sir, for participating in this historic moment, and we would also request you and all other dignitaries on the dais to kindly step forward from their right and lift in jubilation the Presidential Cup and participate in its handing over to the President 37 IGC.
Good afternoon. I'm Won-Suk-Ki, President of the Geological Society of Korea. On behalf of the Geological Society of Korea, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude and respect to the organizing committee members of the 36th International Geological Congress, the IUG's staff, and all those people who made today's successful handover of the Presidential Cup in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. We hope that the 37th International Congress in Busan will be an intellectual festival for all participants to make a journey of geological science together. We will do our best for the success of this festival. Thank you very much, and see you all again in 2024.
All the honorable delegates, 안녕하세요. Good morning and good afternoon to you. I am Pyongguri, the president of Korea Institute of Geoscience and Mineral Resources, KIGAM. I am really glad to give you a greeting remarks for today's ceremony. First of all, on behalf of KIGAM, it is my sincere regret to express that we were unable to meet in person at the 36th International Geological Congress in India 2020. I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to IUGS and the IGC 2020 Organizing Committee of India for arranging today's ceremony. The World Economic Forum claimed the feature keyword as great reset, describing today's paradigm shift of grand transition. Ladies and gentlemen, the IGC 2024 will be the momentum proving the great reset in geoscience. And today, Trophy Award ceremony is the initiating great start of this momentum. Lastly, KIGAM will spare all effort to support the great success of the IGC 2024. I genuinely aspire that we can meet all together face to face and share each other's wonderful research achievement during the 37th IGC 2024. See you all in Busan. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Busan Metropolitan City. I am Park Hyung-jun, Mayor of Busan, the host city of IGC 2024. I fully acknowledge India's dedicated efforts for the successful hosting of the 36th Congress. I also understand how disappointing it is to have this significant event on a virtual platform. It is unfortunate that I'm not being able to meet you in person this time. In 2024, IGC will unfold in Busan as a platform to share accomplishments of and visions for geology. In addition, Busan is making tireless efforts to host the 2030 World Expo, which will set a milestone for humanity's prosperity. The 2030 Busan World Expo will serve as another important platform to signal the future of geology. Taking this opportunity, I would like to kindly ask for your continued interest and support for the upcoming Congress. Over the next 2 years, the city of Busan will spare no effort to make the next IGC a magnificent success. I would like to invite all of you to Busan to build on the accomplishments of the 36th IGC and see for yourself the bright future of geology. I look forward to meeting you in Busan in 2024. Thank you.
Well, that was completing the honors of handing over the Presidential Cup to the next host country and for the event in 2024. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that almost brings us to the final segment of the inaugural ceremony, and that is to do with Thanksgiving. Making adequate preparations for an important event like this requires a lot of hard work, foresight, and above all, malleability to adapt to sudden changes which can happen anytime. Understandably, the efforts of all needs to be acknowledged for a befitting conclusion. May I request Sri C.H. Venkateshwara Rao, Deputy Director General GSI, and also the Secretary General of 36 IGC, to kindly come forward and propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Respected dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and all the people who are witnessing this event virtual mode. Good afternoon, all of you. Now, on behalf of IGC Secretary General, I would like to extend our profound gratitude to Shri Prahalad Joshi, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs, for kindly accepting our invitation for delivering a message which is encouraging entire 36 IGC event. I also profoundly thankful to Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Union Minister, Independent Charge for Earth Sciences, for his support from the ministry side and his message for this inaugural occasion. We express sincere thanks to Sri Rao Sahab Patil Danve, Honorable Union Minister for State of Mines, Coal
and Railways for his message on this wonderful event. I would also take this opportunity to extend our appreciation and gratefulness to Dev Sinha Chauhan, Honorable Union Minister for State for Communication, for kind cooperation and support in releasing the stamps in commemoration of this event, 36 IGC event. Now, the decision to conduct the Congress during March 2022 was due to the strong determination of Sri Alok Tandon, Secretary, Minister of Mines, Government of India. He was keenly monitoring and involved in planning and implementation of each stage of the event. We are indebted to you, sir, for your guidance in accomplishing this mission successfully. I take this opportunity to express our profound appreciation to Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences. As a co-partner, he always guided entire IGC team in a right direction. That is the fruits we are seeing because of his constant support from the Minister of Earth Sciences and his team members who are here. I thank Professor John Luden, President IUGS, and his team for their support and encouragement and the faith reposed on India for conducting this IGC from the IUGS side. I express my sincere gratitude to Professor Chandrama Sinha, President INSA, and her team members who are associated with this IGC, coordinating with all foreign national for conducting this function very grandly. I thank Professor Banerjee Saab. I can say he is the man of the match. At this age, his energy levels are so high. Everyone should imbibe that energy levels. And the spirit, I have seen him, the spirit and passion for this conducting this IGC in a grand way. Every effort I am seeing, sir, and we are all indebted to you, sir, for making this program very grand success, sir. I profusely thank our Director General Sri R.S. Garkal Saab and President 36 IGC for his unconditional support to propel the IGC related activities. Only one word he said to me, Rao Saab, ab jo decision le liye, I will be with you. Sir, that one word, sir, that changed the entire scenario. That results, sir, we are seeing is because of that one word, sir. Thank you, sir. I am grateful to you once again. I would like to place on record gratitude to Dr. Ranjit Rath, CMD MECL, Chief Sponsor and former Secretary General 36 IGC, for the pain he has taken, for the pressure he handled, the postponement pressure he handled very nicely, where our Indian image stood very high because of the delicately he handled that one. And because of that one, sir, we are able to conduct this program very grand way, sir. I am very much thankful to you, sir. I thank Shahil Ahmad Sab, Academic Advisor, Minister of Mines, for constant monitoring and encouragement from Minister's side. I thank Sri Janardhan Prasad, HOD, SR, and Vice President 36 IGC, who is morally with us and encouraged so many registrations, taking personal interest. Thanks are due to Dr. Jayesh Bakshi, DDG Chair Finance, Sri Pradeep Singh, the Director Tech. He is a man who always monitors from the Minister of Mines side. Every small thing he carefully alerted us in advance so that we could not land in trouble. All the troubles are avoided because of his timely intervention. And sparing the officers, I thank LP Singh for all his cooperation from the Faridabad office and as well as Bakshi Saab from DGCO. I thank my team members, Sri Devashish Raut, Director Admin, who has taken a tremendous pain, burning late hours, sleeping late hours, and seeing always we'll be sleeping around 1:30 and we'll be seeing the mails at early morning 4 o'clock also. And Sri Bhagat Sab, Director Finance, and all 36 IGC team members and staff members from Pushpa Bhavan, and officials and MOES, INSA, DGCO, and the FICCI team, led by Saurav Pandey. Wonderful conducted. We are impressed by the way you did the program, and thanks are due to you and the entire team. I extend all my sincere thanks to all the registered participants, without whose support this event would not have been very grand success. Thank you all for making I-36 IGC a grand success. I once again thank management from Minister of Mines for giving me an opportunity to perform my duties. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for kindly proposing the vote of thanks and for doing that so graciously as you did. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I seek the permission of the chair to kindly complete the proceedings of the inaugural ceremony, would like to leave the scientific fraternity with a thought which is absolutely deep-bred. It goes like this. It's time for all the sciences to adopt a geological respect for time because of its capacity to transfigure, destroy, renew, amplify, entwine, innovate, and exterminate. Fathoming deep time is arguably the second greatest contribution of geology to mankind. Just as the microscope and telescope extends our vision into realms of space, once too minuscule or too immense for us to see, geology provides us with a lens through which we can witness time in a way that transcends the limit of our human experiences. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all the patience that you've shown being a part of this inaugural ceremony. And may we request you to kindly join us for tea and slight refreshments, which is being served outside the auditorium on the 3rd floor. But before that, we'll make way for our special dignitaries on the dais to leave the room first, followed by others. Thank you very much for being a part of this occasion. Time. Well, we immediately regroup for the next technical session, which will be immediately in about 10 minutes from now at the same place. It will all be featured on the big screen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.